I did a live late night talk show all summer, and when I was done with that, I was like, that's it. I'm not doing another television show. My television show is done on TV. I'm doing it online only. And I think, people in my agency were a little bit like,
traditional is now going to digital, and digital is now is like just
right. And I think that certainly the people who I work with were like, are you sure? And what about this TV show? And I was like, no, it has to be online for me. And I think the more people actually create content of value, and there is so much of it now, that's why the industry can't ignore it. It's not getting funded in the same way. And ultimately, that's the problem. If you want to make things like, I go in with meetings with people and they say, oh, we want to do a digital show with you and here's $500. You're like, okay, like, how do you expect me to do that? And they're like, well, no one's really paying for digital. And I'm like, what is going on? Like,
that's somebody you say no to and they'll get it in 5 years.
Oh, I did. I did.
God bless, yeah, no. But like, they'll get it eventually.
Right.
But it'll be too late.
But then they've missed the boat because you've gone and done it somewhere else.
I know, but I think everybody wants to put everything into a box and say like, oh, it's not about print, it's not about television anymore, now it's about digital. I actually think it's actually not true. I think it's about all of those things coming together and working in a way because they all are actually complementary and not competitive.
Right, and everyone's always asking digital creators like, oh, do you think this is replacing? Or,
no.
oh, do you think this is like or do you want to make the transition? It's like, I would never leave what made all of my dreams come true. I'll do things together, and I think that's the future of it all.
I mean, absolutely agree. And like, I always use this as an example. Like when the television was invented, radio didn't go away. People on radio just had to really quickly redefine themselves as to, well, we can't really do breaking news anymore because they're getting it on TV. What do we become? We become specialized music stations, but they still exist. And then now you have television, you have digital. So great. Everybody has to rethink. They can't be lazy anymore, but they have to be able to rethink how we can all work together in a very complementary way because print and television will always have a halo in a different way than digital. But there's a way that can all live together and become the biggest entity out there. I mean, you talk about millennials, they're all going back to podcasts and Sirius radio now. Like everything is going full circle that these kids that you're trying to target want to listen to the radio. So what do? You can't just sit there and be like, oh, it's about this or it's about that. How do you actually make it all work together?
I mean, that's a great question and it's a great dream. But the truth is like for someone like myself that makes content that finds a hard place to live on television, I don't know. I don't know how content creators from digital can just slot into television. I don't think that hybrid and that business model exists yet. And I think there are people who want to work it out, but we're not close to working it out yet.
I mean, this year we'll see with Grace Helbig, with her show on E! We'll see. There's tons of digital creators that are making that transition this year, but you're also seeing they are not leaving digital at all. And I think that was always the expectation of when are you going to make that leap? Well, we've seen some people try to make that leap, and then the audience is like, oh, you forgot what made you. Good luck.
Your fans,
yeah,
right?
But I think they also want to make the leap by replicating what's online onto broadcast. And that's not the answer.
Right.
It's finding like, it has to be something completely different. You could use a personality from online, but then create the thing that works best on broadcast.
There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference of like watching
a
3-minute video in the privacy of your own home with headphones than a 30-minute version of it. It doesn't always translate.
It doesn't translate, and there's many examples of that.
You have to find a good balance.
You do? Yeah, I agree with you. And then once you do, that's perfect, because what television does is be able to allow you to have that immediate must-see event. And then the internet does is continue that conversation when you're not there. And then it drives you back to broadcast. And those are the things that will keep the cycle going, because one scratches the back of the other. But you have to have all those things for it to be a successful platform.
That's beautiful.
I mean, is that wrong?
No.
God bless.
Amazing.
That's a T-shirt.
Oh, my God. Every time Joe throws down, I'm like, ah.
Drop the mic.